Good morning. I'm at Birmingham New Street again. I say again because I was here 3 days ago on Monday when 3 new stations. There was a press trip that are opening up in 2 weeks' time, but bizarrely today, on the 19th, 2 new stations up on the line towards Wolverhampton are actually opening today. So I've come back to Birmingham to go and ride that line and visit the 2 new stations of Willenhall and Darlaston. Here's the map. So the new Willenhall and Darlaston stations are opening up on this line, which used to previously have stations here, but they both closed in 1965. And in both cases, the previous stations were located slightly to the east of where the modern ones have now been constructed. And in fact, there's several old disused lines and stations in this area, and the former station at Darlaston was known as Darlaston James Bridge, and Willenhall was known as Willenhall Bilston Street, as there was also a second Willenhall station called Stafford Street on a line that is now no longer there at all. And there also used to be a parliamentary passenger train that ran once a week on this line a few years ago, but we'll come back to that later. The platforms at Birmingham New Street are quite often split into an A and B section, but platform 4, where my train is leaving from today, also has a third letter. That's right, it's leaving from platform 4C, which confuses me for a moment as I try to find where that is. But I have ultimately made the train, but aside from almost not finding the platform, I couldn't buy a ticket when I went to the Avanti ticket machines and typed in both of the new station names. It wasn't having it. It wasn't there. It wasn't on the search. I had to go to the ticket office, and this is why humans are better than machines, because the human could actually sell me the ticket that I wanted. And as I travelled along the line, I'm reminded that this stretch of track where the stations closed in 1965 did for many years still have a once-a-week parliamentary train service, so you could travel along it, just not very frequently. It looks like now, though, that with regular passenger trains back, that parliamentary train no longer runs. There's a gentleman here, he's delivering a sign that says Platform 1 trains to Birmingham. So it's very much a manual sign. I like it. Right, we've just pulled out of Darlaston. It's about 4 minutes to Willenhall, and we'll jump up there and go have a look around. And as you arrive at Willenhall, you can't help but notice the artwork created by local artist Jack Sankson. Willenhall has a history of being one of the main centres of lock production. There's even a museum here called the Locksmith House nearby. So look out for the padlocks in the artwork that he's drawn that you can see at this station. There we go. It's such a sunny day. From the road bridge above, I didn't realise, I thought there was just a side entrance, because over there there's some steps and a nice long ramp for step-free access. There's a footbridge as well, lifts, completely step-free. But there's also an entrance here up at the road. But this road, it looks like this has all been part of the rebuild with a new bike lane there and stuff. So there's an entrance here as well as the entrance down the side. Okay, good view onto the tracks from down here, obviously. Let's go check out the platforms. Out the station front at Willenhall is from the original Willenhall station.
Yes, I believe so.
You've saved the station sign. The historic red sign is from the former Willenhall station and was gifted by the Willenhall History and Heritage Society and dates from the rail nationalisation period of the 1940s. It was discovered and rescued from the local mason's sawmill following a fire and was lovingly restored back to life. And this made me wonder, what did the old Willenhall station used to look like? And as chance would have it, I bumped into someone who could show me exactly how. Something amazing has just happened on the footbridge. I've got chatting to, is it John and
Lindsay?
And you're local?
Yes.
Hello. John's got some old photos, black and white photos.
John, in the 60s.
From the 1960s. So
Yeah.
this is when the train was running. And what year do you think? 60 what?
About 64.
And you took these?
Yeah.
That's
to
amazing.
myself.
That's amazing.
That's the footbridge, the old footbridge.
So that's the original. Look at this. The original Willenhall footbridge. Was it in the same place, or have they?
On the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's not. They've moved it slightly. So, is there any remnants of the old station?
No, nothing.
But you took these. What was the camera?
I don't know.
Look at that.
Probably a box brownie.
Well, no, it wasn't.
That's all we had in them days.
You didn't have an iPhone.
No.
Thank you very much. Give us a wave. Thank you. Obviously you're excited. I mean, I could just say, are you excited? And I know you're going to say yes, but I'm sort of potentially more excited about the fact that, this is an hourly service now, but in the future, there might be more services running through here?
Absolutely. So just one train now at the moment,
Okay.
but we want there to be 2 trains now for Willenhall and Darlaston, and we also want direct connectivity into Walsall as well, because at the moment there isn't a direct service to Walsall from these stations. But we have exciting plans working with West Midlands Railway to operate hopefully a Manchester Airport service in the future.
That's what I heard, yeah.
Direct services from here to up to Manchester Airport.
But just generally, it's great for the area. If you're trying to get to Birmingham, if you're a commuter, how long would the bus have taken before?
You take about over an hour on the bus to get from here. And there is no direct bus from this part of the world into Birmingham, so you would have to get a bus and then you get the tram. It's really, really difficult. So,
and the train can now do it in what? How many minutes?
In about 20 minutes you can get into central Birmingham, so completely transformational in terms of people's employment opportunities in this part of the Black Country.
All right, Peter, thank you.
You're very welcome.
If you've watched my Camp Hill video, hang on, is it a freight going through? Is a freight going through? Is a freight going through? If you've watched my Camp Hill video, hang on a sec. Take 2. If you've watched my Camp Hill video, I did a bit where I was like, aha, timetables, thank you. And the same are here, and it does confirm what we already know. It's an hourly service, but as we've already discussed already, that hopefully will be improved in the future with more trains than just an hourly service. It's hourly as well on a Sunday. No, I take that back. This is key to know down here. It does say no Sunday service at Willenhall or Darlaston, so it is just Monday to Saturday. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the line is still used by freight trains. I'm fascinated by the fact that they haven't actually managed to program in the word Darlaston yet. It just says DRLSTN. I'm sure at some point somebody will actually type out the full name. There's a lot of people here. There's a little gathering of people, and we're all getting is it the 1202? It's the 1202. Let's go to Birmingham, and we're all going to jump on. I'm going one stop to Darlaston. We were just chatting about the fact that there's no facilities. There's no toilets at that station. There's toilets on the trains. The 196s have toilets on.
There's toilets on the trains,
but there's no toilets at the stations, which is surprising. Right, here we go.
The trains you really need to leave. You have to wait here for an hour or get back.
So this one feels a little bit more like a park and ride. I gather Willenhall sort of feels like it's more actually in the town. This one I think is a bit more on the outskirts, so this one feels a little bit quieter. Similar kind of setup. The platforms have canopies, which is great. Again, you can see almost identical footbridge with lifts, and as I say, this huge car park. Over on platform 2, I found the map, which does indicate show that Darlaston and Willenhall are in zone 5 in the West Mids travel area. And also, trains don't stop, as correctly shown on the map. They're not stopping here at Bescott Stadium, even though I think it is before the junction, and trains physically do pass through. If I've got that right, so the next stop is Cambridge Parkway, and then down into Birmingham New Street. But what's really just occurred to me is that there aren't any bin bags at this station or the other one, so I can't get a classic bin bag shot. I'm looking, I really can't see a bin bag anywhere. No bin bags. So on this lovely day, I've come up to this footbridge, this road bridge, which is giving a great view down onto the station right now, which means I can see that train there right now. I didn't also say at the beginning of this video what numbers these stations were, but if you download, and in the description I've got a poster, an A3 size poster. You can download it as a PDF or print it out. It shows you all the new stations, what number they were and what date they opened for the last 8 years since 2020. I've designed that as well. That's quite nice. That is a free download which you can have. I like the fact though that it's a fully fledged station, 2 platforms. It's not like some little pokey single platform thing. It feels like a lot of money was put in and invested, and it's great for this area to have all these new stations. So that is it. That is Willenhall and Darlaston. It's a lovely day here. And I'm just going to get the train back down to Birmingham and head home from there. That is it. Shot of the train leaving coming up next. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.